Good afternoon, everybody. This is Grant Hubbard here with the Gutter Growth Podcast, and I have the pleasure of introducing to you guys, if you do not know, Jon Sjostedt. He is the founder and CEO of One Gutter Guard, one of my absolute favorite. I call it a premier guard. There's a lot of guards on the market, but to me, it's premier. And we say, do you want the Ford, the Cadillac, or the Ferrari? And you, my friend, have the Ferrari to offer, in my opinion. Jon, thanks for being on.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I appreciate that compliment. Yes.
Of course. Jon, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and what your background is?
Absolutely. Yeah, for about 25 years, I was actually in a completely separate industry. I was in medical device sales and sales management, and had a significant life event that made me change kind of the way I was looking at everything I do. Spent a lot of time working. It was a great company, great income and everything. But I spent a lot of time away from home, and I had young family, and the significant health event made me kind of just change my priorities, and had the opportunity when the company, it's a large company, got purchased. I had the opportunity to step aside in a nice way, and I really wanted to create something on my own and build something, and that's what we did.
Okay. And how long have you been in the gutter topper? What do you guys call it is it gutter topper? Is it gutter protection? What is the name?
You've been in it longer than I have. Leaf protection.
I don't want to know what we call leaf for people.
Yeah, gutter guards.
Gutter guard, that's what we call
I like calling it gutter guards because we're actually guarding the gutter, if you will. And we started the development of the product with our engineer, Jim Cullen. I just want to give a good thanks to him because the design and everything came from his vision.
All right.
Yeah. He had this great idea, and honestly, I was enamored by his thought, because I in the medical industry was always interested in what we call disruptive technology, right? Things that were different. And he came to me, and what I thought was a product that would change the way that people look at a gutter guard, right? There's tons of gutter guards out there, right? We can throw a dart and 20 of them, So our goal was simply to create a disruptive technology or disruptive product that would change the way people would say that would want to have a gutter guard, right? That would say this is the way it should be done.
Yep.
So Jim came up with the idea, and really it hinged on one key point, which was versatility. Every other gutter guard is a kind of a one size shoe fits all with its filter type, right?
Right.
So Jim had an idea that was the first of its industry to have interchangeable mesh inserts or filters. Yep. And I love the idea, something different. And we started in 2015, started selling in 2016, and now we're, I think, in our eighth or ninth year. Last 2 years, we've been thankful enough to be awarded the Inc. 5000 fastest growing company in the United States. And that's all to guys like yourself and others that are out there that appreciate and love the product.
Fabulous. I love the product, by the way.
Thank you.
I think in my industry, what I'm doing now, obviously I run a gutter business. We absolutely use your product. Now here with the Gutter Growth, we're teaching other people how to grow their business, and your name comes up. One Gutter Guard comes up. People don't know you by name specifically, but I think that's part of growth is having different levels and understanding what you're selling. And I think that was a key feature that I was really intrigued about, was the interchangeable aspect of the filter. We'll obviously get into that, or we can get into that now. Want to highlight some of the key features of your product?
Absolutely. Yeah, sir. I appreciate it. Obviously the first and key is the interchangeable filters. Jim at a previous company was always asked, which had a one standard product. Hey, I'm having trouble with pine needles, or I'm having trouble with not absorbing enough water, so I need a wider mesh. And he says, I just, I give you this production, it just runs off like a sausage mill. I can't change the mesh that goes in there, right? So, he kept getting asked that question, and the idea was born, and that's the first thing. So that's the biggest difference, and it's the first in the industry to do, and I think it still is the only, but that really pushes that feature.
Yeah.
The other is the interlocking frames, right? So all the other products, because they don't have mesh that's somewhat interchangeable.
Yeah.
The product butts up to each other, right?
Yes.
So therefore you have that kind of that
We call it wonkiness.
wonkiness,
Wonky.
right? So you've got that gap slash part, right? That stuff gets stuck in and things.
When I train how to install I'll tell you this, and maybe you'll move the, when I train people how to install your product, I call it commitment. There's a commitment there.
Yep.
You have to commit these two pieces together. You see those videos, everybody see, you guys, the audience, you see those videos I post. I'm a high level installer, and I make it look like glass. That's because I don't bend the mesh. I have certain tools I use, but I commit those pieces together, and I create an accountability in the product to look like glass. People love that. The customers are, man, I thought pieces.
We love seeing those pictures too, because it's way the product is meant to be installed. So I would say that there's a reason why, when you say commitment, we put a commitment indent in there so that it slides over.
It's obvious. Like,
yeah,
we're done with this part of the install.
Yeah.
Where with the wonkiness, like, people like to, half do a lot of things. We're busy in life, and installers want to get home to their kids, and they're like, well, what's the difference between touching in an eighth and then a quarter and then a half inch? And if we start not committing, then at the end of the day, really, what's the difference between a 2-inch gap? So I don't have to cut a new piece to get to an end cap. We'll just fit something in, and we'll cover it with the mesh. We like commitment.
Yeah. We put a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch indent, and honestly, that's all you need. The other part about that is the interlocking frames, right? So when you talk about the wonkiness, right, everyone else is just kind of butted up together, so you have to kind of maneuver one to make sure that the angle is the right way. Our product, actually, the chassis with the frame, one rests upon the other. There's a tiny little tab, and so that allows the installer, right, not to have to guess where he's supposed to be. He can just simply lay the other one right on top of it, and those are all things.
Commitment. It's another marrying. Yeah. I like the way the product marries both pieces of it. Like, if you were going to do a quality control inspection, which I do of my guys, right, and I go out, and when we're using other guards, I might have to, go in there, and when they butt, it's like,
yeah.
They thought, but here you like need to be, I feel like you need to be at the joint and make that happen and hit that screw and take some pride in putting that high level product. We don't pay. It's not a cheap product to buy, and it's not a cheap product to offer to the customer either. This isn't a cheap product. This is a solution, and solutions are sometimes costly when you pay up front for a solution that works for a long time. Right. We understand that.
It is. I mean, you mentioned, like, and I always like to use Honda, Toyota, and Lexus, and, those types of things, right? They're both great cars, right? And they both fit a purpose in the market, and so there's obviously other products out there in the market for what I consider to be a different tier market. And we pridefully say, we're kind of a one and done type product, meaning if you put it on your gutter and the gutter is supposed to last 25 years, you're not going to have to replace your gutter guard for 25 years. That's what you're buying, right? The quality and the lifetime warranty that we have. We stand behind it, and everybody can say that. But we truly believe it, and with the product stands up behind it. Whatever the three pillars that we kind of go right, buy in this company, and overall is quality, performance, and value. Right. Those are the three pillars we stay by, both in development of product and manufacturing and quality assurance. All those things. If it doesn't meet those three pillars, we throw it out. Because we want to stay where we want to. We're at that point with this product and other products that we come out with. So I appreciate, you saying, it takes a little bit of time. It does. But, you can slap up an inferior product or a lesser product probably in a shorter period of time, but is it going to last? And that's the question I have, right? So, when you put in a quality product, it's going to perform the way you want it to be.
Yep.
And it's going to be value, not in value as in cost, but value as in customer's not going to call you. You're not going to have to go back. You're not going to have, all these issues as much as other products.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think? Do you feel like the chassis, I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you feel the chassis or the interchangeable? And we really haven't told people that don't know about One Gutter Guard yet, and we'll get to that next. Do you think the interchangeableness of the top, the filter, or the chassis, which one is like the king of making you stand out in the market?
I would like to say
we're not going to hold you to this as an industry. Just for fun.
I appreciate
it on the spot.
It's like saying what makes a In-N-Out hamburger good. Is it the bun or the hamburger?
Nothing.
Some people like that. It's the concert of it together, and that's not a cop out.
I agree. I like that
combination of both of it, right? It's the interlocking chassis, it's the mesh with the indent, it's the ability to have different ones, and it's not just buying the mesh, right? So when a contractor, when a new dealer comes on board with us, yes, they buy a box of X with X mesh, but you can have, and we sell independent mesh inserts, right? So that on that specific one home, you could have a 12 mesh in the miters, right? The inside miters to allow that to happen. And you can then have the rest of the house being in whatever, mesh filter it needs to be. So it's the concert of both of them. And I wouldn't put heavy weight on one or the other. It's really a togetherness, if that's the right term. So
I think you win the gold prize on that, because that's exactly how I feel. And I'm glad can I talk about your product for a minute? I know.
Absolutely.
I know a lot about your product. I've installed it for years now. Trained, let's just say 30 or 40 people,
right,
the past 4 or 5 years, directly on how to install your product the correct way with pride. I think the answer is exactly what you said. The fact that I can give it actually, when we're talking about value, I think it has to be given all the way to the customer, not just by putting the product on their house, by engineering the way that you do things. And I have zero opportunity to do that with other guards. And I put the 12 mesh in the inside corners in high valley areas. When the roof's like this, I can change out. I can say, you know what? This part of the house is really, really steep. That water's it's 50 feet to the peak or whatever. This is a mansion. This has to be ready depending on the region. I've worked in 40 states around the country. I know all the different regions. So it's like the fact that I can put a 12, or we got high pine needle. Are we going, we're going to have a conversation about pollen. Was this for water containment? And people, know they have filters, but some people are really anal and they want to start filtering literally at the gutter. And they want that. What's the highest mesh?
24 mesh is the most filtered.
Most filtered. Yeah. And I just ordered, a ton of that recently for something. So it's like, it's beautiful the way that you can actually plan out, think out, and then execute something with leaf protection other than just like well, yeah, this stuff is cool, but we're just going to use this one product and doesn't really have a great fit. And we don't want to discuss that in the design of your gutter system because we don't have an answer.
Yeah.
You allow me
Well,
to have these answers that no one else has. So I appreciate you that opportunity in running gutter businesses like I do.
yeah, then thank you for that. I think you hit on a key topic that I talk about a lot in some of our sales forums. I call them sales forums because I don't teach. Everybody has their own style of how to sell, correct? But I try to give them tools to be able to position the product right. The best way they can in order to be able to sell in their area the most amount of product, right? And treat their customer right. So one of the things I talk about is while the product, one of its key features is this interchangeable, all that. If the salespeople are not talking about this like you do, think about it, you do it because you're creating a custom solution for someone, but what you're really doing is having them understand this is different. This is
Yeah.
different than everything else that's out there. And you're setting yourself apart because no one else can have that conversation. That steep pitched roof,
Nobody can.
right? And that we're prideful in that because we try to tell people you have the only product line that's out there that can create a customized solution for every single environment that's out there, whether it be a steel roof, metal roof, steep pitch roof, heavy pine, all across the country. Every home is different. And so we pride ourselves in that. One of the other things I'd like to touch on, and I know that you know this, is we're not just a company that sells a product, right? And part of this whole value commitment is two parts. One, we go beyond just being a manufacturer and a supplier to people like yourself and others. And we want to create value in different ways. How we create value for you is from a manufacturing standpoint is, yes, the product that has the different meshes. But we also create special products, right? We create, like, you may call us and say, hey, John, we've got a church that was built in whatever time, and they've got a special situation that we've got, to try to work around. Jim, myself, others will get on a call. We'll develop a product specifically for that. We have a special customized shop here that provides products for that. We've done churches, we've done universities, things like that, where they could not do it with a standard product, and we can custom make those things. And that really separates us apart from the majority of out there, because literally to them, you're just an order. To us, you're a personal relationship.
I didn't know that. The more I do the podcast, the lifelong learner, the more I learn about companies that I'm committed to. I didn't know do you like special order custom?
Yeah, we make custom, we have shop here that customizes products. Now we take the standard product and we'll customize from that.
Right.
We had a university up in I wanted to say it was in Virginia, but somewhere in the north that called us and we helped the installer or dealer at that point create a solution for that. In some sections they had flying hangers, or I forget the terminology you guys use, those roof hangers.
Yeah, T-straps. I mean, everybody argued.
Yeah, I mean, they had so many different obstacles that we were able to provide a solution to for him to be able to get a job. That's a big deal, right?
Man, that's huge.
Yeah, if you can't, there's no such thing as a standard. It's like gutters are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. It's you show up and one time.
Would I be safe to just I don't like the word assume, but let's assume I buy 7-inch one guard from you, right? And I know that how that's modified, that just carries on in your modification, essentially in that route and the way it can grow.
The way it can grow, yes. Yeah, okay. We can shrink it, right? So like we have a standard product, which is the normal 5-inch and 6-inch.
We can go smaller than 5.
We have what's called a short back, which creates a
Oh yeah.
half inch shorter, right? And yeah, so modify the product, right? So customized solutions for that. We are looking for tooling that makes that a little bit easier, and allows us to be a little bit more flexible in our roll form, because this is roll formed, right?
Yes.
It's not pressed or anything like that. So
Mhm.
roll forming is an art, but is also expensive in order to adjust and modify. So we try to create innovative ways to make differing product lines from the existing tool forms.
Yeah, based off of demand, right? So
Yep, yep, yep. So I mean, obviously the standard is 5 inch, 6 inch, 6 inch. When we first started, 6 inch gutter guards were probably 65% of what we sold, and now it's completely reversed. It's 70%, 65% 6 inch, and the remaining is 5 inch. So the
and not
industry,
probably not much, not because of anything you guys are doing, but just the market, like probably not much 7 inch.
not we here in Florida, because of the larger gutters and needed
Yeah,
in certain, and then also a lot of commercial applications, obviously the box gutters and things like that. We create,
correct.
a lot of solutions for those types of things. So yeah.
I would like to, you don't have to commit to it, but I would like to, and we're not ending this. I would like to have another conversation with you, maybe sooner than later. There's a lot of questions that I have, um, just so that I can grow in my training about that
Yeah.
product on half round with these hangers, with external hangers, with one by is creating an issue. Can you bump, go under if you would? And I'm sure I'll get a bunch of questions after this. I want to briefly tell people how to get a hold of just what's the best website to look is or
Absolutely. www.onegutterguard.com. That's ONE.
ON.
ONE gutterguard.com. That's the best way to go to the to get in touch with us. All the phone numbers are there, and obviously reach out. If you're a new dealer and you're interested in the product, simply just right on there it says new dealer. Put your information in there, or just give us a call. Either way.
Yeah. What's a good phone number to reach out to you guys? Do you know that off the you're the
I'll
owner.
look at it.
I
I'll look at it because
to
I don't.
know. I don't even listen. You could offer me $1,000 right now or 1,000,000. I literally could not tell you our company phone number. I like have digital
Yeah,
business cards, and I'm like looking at.
yeah. I literally have my card sitting right here in front of me because people ask me all the time,
Ah,
what's the phone number? And I'm like, oh gosh, what is this? And it's been 8 years, and I'm still,
yeah, yeah,
having
yeah.
this
Okay,
card.
I'm gonna keep my wallet here closer in case anybody ever asks me. Okay,
So yeah, main line 727 area code 308-7771. So that's 7771. So 308.
and where are you guys based out of?
We are based out of a little town called Palm Harbor, Florida. It's right by Tampa Bay. So we're down here, and in the summer we're getting pretty hot. So
Yeah, yeah. A lot of excitement around your product as far as people know. Whether I bring you up in forums, and I get not everybody's aware of your product, right? And I work for a brand that we use your product mostly exclusively, I would say, mostly. I say that because of the uncertainty. I don't know. I don't know all whatever we got now, 150
sure.
or 200 locations. I don't know them all personally. So I know the people that I know use your product for sure,
Yeah.
across the nation. So part of why I wanted to do this podcast was really to cast a fabulous product. People know me and they know I'm not selfish.
Yeah.
I want the market, the gutter industry. I know the market can bear all good things.
Absolutely.
I tell people all the time, they say the economy this, the market that, I hear you, but I've been getting a raise every year since I was 16, and this is a quarter century for me of being in this business. And I don't remember being laid off. I make good decisions with my employers. I work hard for my employers. And when I know about a value like one gutter guard, I want chucking the trucks. I want, as much as possible, I want them to be able to step their game up. So as an industry, we can all rise together. That is the intention of me joining forces with Gutter Growth, with Gutter App, with Gutter School, Gutter Installers. And I just want everyone to know just how valuable your product is to the customer's home, their biggest investment, as well as let's talk about it. There's some good margins to be made on your product.
100%. I mean, we all know what the market is. If I go in and I talk to a lot of the dealerships that we have, and I want to touch on that because we operate just a little bit different than most people. We don't sell to supply shops. We don't sell to everyone. We create what we call dealerships. It's a franchise, but with no franchise fee. So we create, kind of protectionism because we want the top installers. We want the guys that know what they're doing and want to grow with our brand and using our brand, quite honestly, to have them grow. So when you talk about margins, the first thing I think about is I went into a city and I sat down and talked with them about their product. And I said, what do you think leaf filter sold in your area, right? What do you think the number is? You'd be shocked to know that half of them think that it's a very low number. And I'm just going to tell you that the vast majority of them are 5, 7, 8. And when I say this, it's $1 million per year. Top ones are 18 to 20 per year. That's, a couple million a month. So, and their average per linear foot is, these are speculative, but we can get into some pretty good numbers. Their average is around $35 to $38 a linear foot.
Correct.
So, people that say you can't sell a product for $18 to $20 a foot. I'm here to tell you that the market's out there. They're doing it.
I'm here to tell you how you guys think we're making so much top end revenue. Well, you guys see what I'm doing. I'm not doing that. No disrespect to expanded mesh or anything like that, but I mean, I'm not doing $2.5, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million in a couple of years in a new gutter company. We use a lot of systems, and there's a bunch at play. Sorry guys, you don't buy one box of gutter guard and start doing millions of dollars, but that is a part of it. Picking who you partner with when you're running your business is huge. We were talking the other day. Well, I mean, I'm going to give Leaf Filter one more breath on this podcast, please. And then we move on because your product is far more superb. What are they doing? $1 billion a year?
They did 1.4 billion last year. And so I don't know what this year is.
This is Gutter Growth Mastermind podcast. So for you guys that are going, I can't find the customer. No one's buying gutters. What am I doing wrong? I can't even do $200,000 of gutters. The economy, no one's buying. Listen, they're not buying from you. They're not buying from you. They are buying. And just to mention, to shout out, who I'm involved with, the brothers that just do gutters. So Leaf Filter is doing 1.4 billion. We're not doing, but hey, we're coming. We are doing a lot. And then there's another, I'm getting some crazy stats here. I'm researching. There's at least another 11,000 gutter companies.
Yeah. Yep.
That are eating too. We're all eating. Yeah. So you just let the big fish eat. You guys, there's money out here. And get yourself a good product. Get a uniform. Do something with yourself. Clean your truck up and make some money.
The things that you're saying are absolutely right. I mean, I think that the brothers did a fantastic job of putting a professional, and others have done it too, but on a national level, they've done a great job of putting a professional polish to the industry. And I think it's fantastic. And I think you can do it on your own, like you've suggested, but I listen to a lot of, people that are, obviously a lot smarter than I am. And I
that's why I wanted you on, because I want to learn.
So So Warren Buffett, some of I'm trying to grasp exactly what he said, but essentially what he said is it's not how much you sell of things, because you could sell a lot of stuff for $1, right? But if you sell half that stuff for $10, it's not about the price of
Yeah.
it's the value, and right. So if it's not the quantity, it's the value of the price of the things that you're selling.
No, I'm
So
with that for sure. Yeah.
so if and I will say this, obviously, I go and I attend, conferences and things like that. And I was lucky enough to be invited and to be a sponsor of the Conference of Brothers. And one of the things they came up to me and said is, John, every single high value award that a Brothers franchise won was ones that sold One Gutter Guard exclusively. And it's not a magical, mythical reason. It's because you're selling a higher priced dollar value product, and it's worth it. If you put our product in your hand and you go up to another, John Q homeowner, and you show them another product, they're going to look at this product and they're going to say, hey, this has value. This has quality. You can see it. And I think that's what sells it. It almost sells itself. But you need to have some background on the information. When I sold other products, I needed to know everything about every single competitor. I needed to know what they were selling it at, why they were selling it, how they were selling it. And if you're not doing that in your own industry, you're missing out on quite a bit of business, because the customer needs to be educated, right? They're out there. They don't know leaf solution from leaf guard from anything else. They need to be educated.
Listen, fairly often, I don't. We do a lot of gutter business, especially for our second year. We're going to be $2.5 million in our second year right here. That's a lot of customers. 33 and a half houses, average sale, 2,500-ish or something, whatever, blah, blah. People will call us and say, hey, when are you coming out? And we'll go, well, what's your name? We'll get on the schedule. They don't even know who they bought from, is what I'm saying. And I'm always transparent. We get some calls. Not everybody goes with us. We only try to sell 50 to 60% of our leads. We know our price point. You know what I mean? So yeah, people call and say, hey, are you coming out? I thought you were going to be here today. And we're like, oh, what's your name? Yeah, you didn't buy from us. Yeah. Well, isn't this Brothers? Yeah, you didn't write us a check. We don't have a deposit. There's no credit card. Oh, yep. You know what? Now that I'm looking, I went with Tom's. Well, yeah, guess what? Tom's isn't there. You can call me back.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry,
right.
So it works both ways too, right?
It does. It does.
They definitely don't know the difference in guards. We have to educate the customer.
Yep. Well, the cream, cream rises to the top, right? And in your personal industry, you know it, you know what to do. And that's why you're doing what you're doing with your education. And I think it's very valuable. And that's why I want to be part of it, is because the more educated both the consumer is and the more educated the dealers are, the people that are installing it, the more they're going to see the difference between a quality product and a lesser quality product. And they're going to see it in their business. And all I would say is, I firmly believe, and we've seen it, if you sell our product at a reasonable price to the homeowner that is far less than a leaf filter, and the quality is that much better, I would say to you, our product is 10 times leaf filters quality, but we sell it on average probably half of what, not we, but you guys and our dealer network. Our average is around $20 to $21 a linear foot. And people will, they're seeing leaf filter come to their house. I'm sorry for using the word.
I'll go ahead. Listen, they're in the business. I'm not in competition with them personally. I'm in competition with myself, and that's it.
Right. But when you go to your team goes to a homeowner and they're seeing, a gutter install, you could literally install gutters and guard for the same price or less than they're selling just the guard. So there's a value play there.
I would be willing to bet. I haven't tracked this because, who cares? Here's the pride coming out, but it's all right. I could probably put a big bet on the fact that if we're first or last or somewhere in the middle, I guarantee you we always beat leaf filter, right? Because they're going to be $16,000 for a $4,000 system, and our system's going to kick their butt all day. Why? I'll say it, Leaf Filter. Give me a call if you want to have a discussion about a way to run a better company. All your subs, your boys don't know how to install. I'm not even going to beat up your product.
Yeah.
Your boys don't know how to install. Not all of you guys. I have a lot of you that follow me, but they put just people out that don't know what they're doing to install.
I would agree with that.
Decent product, whatever the heck. But
I would agree. All I would say is, aluminum is aluminum and vinyl is vinyl. And you can choose between the two. That's all. So
let's jump right into I don't we don't have to be negative, but what's a challenge? Let's
I think we've kind of touched on some of it.
I think we did too. I don't know that we even need to discuss that, but
yeah, all I would say is our challenge is our company challenge is to have people recognize the brand. We don't want to be the best kept secret. We want others to know about it, and we want them to be successful because of it. And I think we have the product to do that, to help them. Just like you're helping them with education and all the things that you're doing, we feel like with our product and the proper education, those two things married together, people can be extremely successful in this business. They just need to know about it. And so that's, I would say, our challenge is how do we, and this is why, I'm thankful to be here.
This is why you're here.
And to be able to say, hey, we're here and we have a solution that could help you be extremely successful. And we're here not only just to be as a manufacturer. On a monthly basis, I set up sales and installations, not podcasts, but webinars, and I go through it. And I spend the time as a founder of the company. I spend my time to try to help people. You tell me if these other companies are doing that. I don't think they are.
They're not doing it with me. I already called you the Ferrari, brother.
So, we put ourselves out there and we put the effort. And that's the value that we want. Not only that, is on our website, right? When you go on our website, when anybody else goes on our website, you take a look at, you type in your zip code, it'll populate with all the dealers in our area. We're promoting you, right? Because it's good for both of us. If you sell our product or, hey, they're looking for our product, they find you.
That's fabulous.
It's great for you. And it goes directly to you. We're also starting more direct. If dealers are in what we call our Premier program, it's literally all we do is we promote you as a dealer. So we'll put out digital ads promoting you as a One Gutter Guard dealer in your local area for free.
Man. Look at that.
For free. So name another company that does that. None. Right? So we're married to your success. Your success is our success. And that's the way it should work.
That's intriguing. What, I'd heard a little bit about that, and we have such a massive marketing presence in our franchise, as you should, right? It's really convenient. I'm trying to figure out how to put it. At least for me, as a person who director of operations, general manager of our sales. I'm the sales manager. I'm the field too. I love having all those positions. I get to have control. I run the shop, and yes, I know how to give people tasks, and I'm training people to replace me. I'm in a new location now. I've been there for 1 year. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. I don't know if we did 60% more than last year, if we had 120% growth, whatever it is. We do $1 million more this year than we did last year. And we've been open 2 years with your product's help as well in that. But I don't have to worry about the marketing is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right? It's not something that I actually worry about. Our lead flow comes in. It doesn't help when it doesn't rain for months, but that's probably part of our success as well.
Yeah, it's a free thing, right? I mean, there's two parts of it. One is it's website presence that everybody knows, SEO and all the different things, and that's something that you're trying to teach people, and I applaud that. There's a myriad of stuff in there, but we do it as an added value, along with the product, along with the customization, along with the websites promoting you. That's the value that I talk about. We want to be there to support you guys and any other dealer that we have out there. If I may spend 2 seconds with that.
Yeah.
We interview our dealerships, right? We talk to them. We want them to be, and I would say 99.9% follow this model. One, they have to have a website. They've got to be able to get to a certain point where they're getting and we're starting to put in a website.
I like that. I like how
we want that, right? And we talk about, what we get dealership requests probably 3 or 4 a day. Here's the difference between what we do. We have a semi-exclusive dealership model, which means that we don't have 10, 15 people selling or 20 selling the product in your local neighborhood. We don't.
Right.
We don't do that. It's hurtful to us from a sales standpoint, but it's better for the market for you guys in some ways because you're spending money to promote yourself. 100%. And if you have an exclusive product that makes and separates you from the rest, then that's fine. Each market is different. Atlanta, we have several dealers, but they're kind of separated, right? And so we try not to have more than, if it's a smaller town, we try not to have more than 2, period. That's it.
Fair.
So that sets yourself apart. So that's a different model that we have.
I like that.
So we interview you. We make sure that you're not, going to violate or be in great competition with multiple dealers that have been, very loyal to us over time. So we go through that process and we vet them to make sure.
Yeah, that's why there will be no other people. If you're watching this, Austin, Texas, you're off limits. You don't get the product. You can't buy one credit card. I'll do whatever it takes. We're the only person. You know what? It's
yeah. No, in all honesty, we just do a different business model because we can, and that's the way I choose to run it. But we want it to be special in all our product lines. We want them to be special. So I do want to offer, into that anybody that is interested in. I want to be able to provide your viewers and all the people that listen to you across all of your stuff a special promotion for new dealer special kit.
Today is the breaking news day. What do you got?
What we got? Well, we want you to try. We want you to try the product. So what we're going to do is typical house is about 150 linear feet. Our boxes come in 80 linear feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a box for every, so it's a dealer kit, right? One box, you buy one box, you get the second box completely free, and we give you a box of end caps so that you can finish the job. That's another thing that a lot of people don't do is end caps. You need to, it finishes it.
Call me and talk to me about the end caps. They're fabulous. So, my mind's spinning over here. Not if I buy one semi, are you going to give me, I'll come joke. Okay, guys. So he's giving you buy one box. So you're not going to be able to buy 10 boxes and get 10 free.
No.
Just buy a box, try one out. I
don't want free.
I don't get this deal. I'm not saying he won't sell me one box and give me one free. This isn't like just buy a box. Just buy your one. He's gonna send you one. You're getting a better deal than I am, except for I get to pick his brain, so I'm learning. And then go ahead and call me if you have questions about how to install it. Let's keep it to under 5 minutes, but you can call me.
Please. All new dealers. I want to make sure it's important, Grant. All new dealers that coming in, because we want you to try. We want you to try the product. And so if you do that, that's about a $350 value directly to you.
Steak dinner, man, right there.
That's a pretty good steak dinner.
It is. You should come eat with me. Well, I know we're getting to know each other. People know I love food. We do steak, crab, lobster.
I'm in.
Every now and then.
I'm in.
Jon, I really appreciate your time. I have one more question for you, and I'm sure people are going to be intrigued now. Their ears are perked. Tell us where your company's going. Do you got any wild plans? Or are you going to stay steady and continue to build, obviously, a great product, and that's where your focus is now? You're the Ferrari in my eyes, bud. Are we going Pagani? What are we doing here?
We recognize that the market has several tiers, right? And as always, we wanted to create a better mousetrap. And so I believe that there is a need for a what I would call a Toyota, but that performs like a Ferrari.
Okay.
And
So we're
so
gonna make something a little more cost effective then, but
absolutely.
still,
So
but
cost
still
tier,
pretty much still the same quality per se.
high quality, high performance. Again, quality, performance, value. Those are our three tenets, right? So and that's coming in the first of next year. We're going to be doing some beta tests at some locations that you will probably see soon. And Grant, hope that you'll be
You'll
involved.
send me some of that, right? I mean, I'm a beta. No, I'm not.
Yeah. So, we need to do some beta testing on sizes and make sure the point of the product is for it to perform well, but install extremely quick. That's time is money to crews. And if we can perform and have a product that can perform really, really well, but install quicker, that's the point of the product.
Okay.
That's first quarter of next year, launch probably second quarter, as things kind of ramp up into the season.
How long is just so we can clarify for the viewer audience, how long is you running this one box? I know it's one time, right? So guys, don't try to have your sister call them, or they're gonna vet you anyway. They're not just gonna send the whole world one free box. You're not gonna be able to get 16 boxes to you and all your neighbors. Let's have some decency. He's gonna know city and state. You're like, how long is this? Just kind of till the end of the year? Is there a sense of urgency or?
No, I think that we will always want new dealers in areas where we do not have good coverage in the area.
Okay.
So it will be a caveat to that. If you were in the area, unfortunately, that we have a full dealership model there, we would not be able to help you on that. And that's
the boat.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way it goes. But
So don't miss it. The boat's coming by now, and they're probably. If our brother's franchise is just smothering the country, guys, so act fast. You like
that's
help
true.
competition. That's fine. I think we went over everything, man. I really appreciate you letting me pick your brain and continue to build this relationship with you. I got a chance to meet you personally at a convention a couple years ago, and I'm going to shout out Danielle Heller. Me and her won the football competition. And what a blast. And it was a pleasure to get to meet you personally. And now, again, we've been speaking for a little bit. And just for entertaining all my silliness on the podcast. It was an absolute pleasure. And I appreciate your time. I'm looking forward to do it again.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for the time and look forward to seeing how your impact in this industry is really going to change it. And I really appreciate it.
I'm on my skateboard or whatever they say. I'm headed out. Don, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Have a great one.